Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about boss 2 on Twilight Temple or Nightfall Sanctuary, which is the Shield Bearer. And yeah, this guide is way overdue, and this footage is from a long time ago, so don't mind the DPS. But the reason I chose this footage is because we do the mechanics, and it's very important to explain the mechanics before you start using any cheese methods. So first of all, it's quite simple. I'm just going to roll the clip while we're attacking, and I'm just going to explain as things happen. So the very beginning is quite simple. You're going to DPS the boss until he goes into phase. If you notice over here, the tank is always going to stand at the 12 o'clock position and engage through there. You're going to have the melee characters at the 6 o'clock position and all the ranged characters over here at around the 1 o'clock position. The main reason why you want to do this is because if the tank is standing at the 12 o'clock position and the boss's aggro is faced on him, he's going to use a shield bash that only hits the tank as well as the back part of the map. So the melees over here, they need to be able to block this shield bash or else they'll get knocked back. And this way it allows the ranged DPS to just stand here and brain dead DPS to maximize DPS uptime. And that's the reason why we do this. Another reason is also because you see this circle over here. Later on there is a mechanic where it requires every single person to step on this circle and to move along. And usually we prefer the ranged players to step on the circles first, then the melee players. Which is why we like to group all the ranged players close to the circle. However, again, this is all up to you. You can do things differently if you want, but this is how we did it. So it's quite simple at the very beginning. It's just pure DPS, and you're just going to hit the boss. The boss rotation is rather simple. He only does like 3 or 4 different rotations, and you just get used to it. So over there was the shield bash. You saw it hit the tank in the front, and then it hit everyone back over here, and this is when all the melees need to block. And then again, he's just going to do his regular rotation, and here. And over here, he's going to give everyone symbols. So you'll notice that everyone over here has different symbols on the top of their head. And I'm going to post a little picture now on the video, just showing you the different symbols. So the one on the most left side is A, or 1, then the middle one is B, or 2, and the one on the most right side is C, or 3. So those are my indications. I use A, B, C, A being the easiest one, C being the most complicated one. However, if you want to use 1, 2, 3, feel free to do that. There are names for each of these symbols, but they're just too complicated, and that's why we don't use that. We just use A, B, C. Once he gives out symbols, the way that I like to run my raid is I tell everyone to just match up on A, and we all go on to the A symbol, and then we wait until the boss does the selection or goes into phase. So we're just going to attack once everyone switches to A. So you can see there that I switched to A, which is the easiest symbol, and I just DPS the boss. And now we just DPS and we just wait for him to go into phase basically. And DPS, DPS, DPS. He's going to do the shield laser again. Rather simple. Shield bash again, so melees need to block that attack. It's going to be the triple stab. And we continue to hit, and now it says the shield bearer changes its stance. When this happens, you're going to notice that it's going to have a symbol, and everyone has to be different from that symbol other than the tank, or else you'll take aggro away from the tank. So you're going to notice here that he changes the symbol to A. So this is when everyone else in my party needs to change their symbols to B. If you happen to have the red circle on top of your head, and if you're not the tank, stop attacking, run into the boss, and jump. That way you can change your symbol. If you keep attacking the boss, you will not be able to change your symbol even if you jump. So make sure that if you do have the symbol, run into the boss, spam jump until the symbol changes and you won't have the red circle. The only person that should be this symbol over here, or the A symbol, should be the tank. That way the tank will have aggro and everything will be fine. So you see there that he's going to jump, 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 stops attacking, and he's failing to jump, but there we go. He finally jumped, he finally changed the symbol, and you'll notice that aggro immediately switches to the tank, which is over here, and we're all good to go. So next thing, we're just going to continue to DPS again, and we're going to wait until he changes symbols once more. DPS, 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 he does a shield laser again, then he does the shield bash, and he does the triple stab. And once he finishes this triple stab, he's going to say here, the shield bearer sets glyphs. So now this is the part where again, he'll change symbols over here, but everyone needs to match the symbol this time. If you don't match the symbol, you will die. So you see over here that the symbol is B. Over here it's B, so everyone needs to change to B, including the tank, or else whoever isn't this symbol will automatically die. So you gotta match it, so everyone switches to B, and once boom, he'll do that like downward sweep. And after he finishes the downward sweep, if someone isn't that symbol, they will die. And you'll notice that now the symbols are off. Everyone loses their symbol and it's just normal again. So we just DPS again, and you'll notice that he's going to create a death zone now. So now you'll see that there's a death zone outside. Everywhere out here has become a death zone. You don't automatically die by standing in the death zone. However, you will lose HP rapidly. So I don't recommend standing out here if you don't have a shield. The only way you can survive out in the death zone is when you have a shield, which you will get from this little circle over here in a moment. So we're going to DPS the boss. Again, he's going to give everyone symbols. Again, in my raid, I like to make everyone switch back to A, which is the easiest symbol over here, which the tank has changed to. So we're going to change all into A, and we're going to DPS again. So we're DPSing, and we're waiting for his rotation. The moment he finishes that ground slam, we need to stun him over here. He has 3 CC bars, and we need to stun it, or else he'll do an explosion that knocks everyone back into the death zone, and will probably kill us all. So we need to stun it. Boom, perfect. And then we're going to wait for his next rotation. He's going to do a couple sweeps. And then once he does his shield laser, which is coming up right here, he's going to slam his shield pretty soon. Come on, about now. Good. Now he slams his shield into the ground and he'll do a shield laser. The moment this finishes, his CC bars will open one more time and we need to KD it. So finish the shield laser, we KD, and when we're KDing, the tank needs to position himself right behind this thing. Because right after we KD the boss, when he gets up, he's immediately going to shoot a laser. And this laser needs to hit this circle over here, or else the circle will not activate. So you're going to see that now, that we KD the boss, boop. You'll see that the tank is standing right here, so he's standing right behind the circle so that the laser beam is going to hit it. And you're going to see it now. It's going to go boom. And voila, once the laser beam hits it, it'll say the soul gate of the Emperor's Glyph is open. And you'll notice that around the map, all of these little circles will activate, and they all have the little symbol on top. They're all different, but you'll see that they're all activated. And this is when we do what we call the crossing. And so beforehand, everyone will be assigned a number to see who crosses first. So there'll be people who do 1 all the way down to 12. Everyone will be assigned a single number. So in this video, I think I'm like 11 or 10 or something. And everyone else is assigned like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way down, so that whenever I do call out the numbers, they know who is next to cross. And so we're going to be DPSing over here. You want to notice that he's going to pick a symbol immediately after he does this laser beam, and you need to be a different symbol from this other than the tank, or else you will rip aggro. So you can see over here that Biscuit has the same symbol, so he needs to make sure he switches off the symbol before he takes the aggro off the tank. So everyone needs to switch symbols except for the tank, as the symbol is A. So we're going to see over there that we need to switch. So we all switch in time. Biscuit did not steal aggro, so it'll be fine. So Biscuit over here is 1. However, you can see over here that Notpix does have the symbol. He does have A, and he didn't switch in time, so he has aggro. So he needs to quickly run to the boss, get close to it, don't attack the boss, and jump in order to switch the symbol. So while he's doing that, boom, he's lost the aggro, he's fine. So you can see here, Biscuit was 1, you'll see here Notpix is 2, and I'll just be reading off numbers telling people, okay, 1 has crossed, 2 get ready. Once 2 gets his shield, I say 2 has crossed, 3 get ready, so forth and so on, and everyone will cross 1 at a time. What do they do at crossing? I'll show you shortly when I do my crossing personally. So we're just going to DPS here, and the only thing that everyone else here has to pay attention to is to DPS the boss and to CC it at a very specific time. His CC bars will open when it happens, however his rotation during this phase is very simple. He's going to do the stabs over here, and then he's going to do a spin. And then right after that, he's going to do the missile. The missile will always be targeted to the furthest person. So once he shoots the missile to the furthest person, you need to get ready for a KD pretty soon. So you're going to see here, he's going to shoot a missile, and now he does the frontal slam, backward slam, and then his CC bar is going to open. The moment his CC bars open, we need to either KD or stun. In my raid, we use stun because it was easier. However, normally I like to use KD because it's easier for summoners since you can double KD, but it really doesn't matter. Just stun or KD, your choice. You can even use daze if you want to use it. And then so while all of this is happening, I'm constantly calling out, okay, 3 has crossed, next one is 4, and then 5, and then 6, so forth and so on, so everyone can cross in time, because you don't want to miss your shield over here. So while we're doing that, again, we're just constantly attacking the boss while I'm calling out numbers. While people are crossing, you'll see that the next guy is crossing over here. And again, he shoots a missile. Once his missile goes out, he's going to do the shield bash again from backwards. Once the shield bash is done, again, his CC bar is open. We need a stun or KD. We did the stun, no problem. Okay, this one's the next guy, he's going. And again, we just keep continuing this pattern until everyone has crossed. The tank will always be the last person to do the crossing, because after a certain amount of rotations, he will switch stances into a range stance, and that is when the melee tank has to get out of there, and then we need a range tank. Usually the range tank has to be the first person who crosses or the second person. They have to be pretty early or else they won't make it back in time in order to range tank. You can see here that Biscuit, which was the first person to cross, has already completed a full circle and is ready here. So we're just waiting for him to change stances into range stance. So again, we're just DPSing here. He does his shield bash. We need to get ready to CC. Come on, we do our stuns. Perfect. Okay, now it says the shield bearer changes his stance. Once he changes his stance, he's going to go into a range stance. So when he goes into a range stance, the tank over here, or the melee tank, needs to switch a symbol different from what he wants. And the range tank over here wants to change it to the same one. And everyone who comes back into the map needs to be a different symbol than whatever the boss chooses. So while that is happening, it just so happens that I'm doing crossing. So first of all, I need to stand here to get a shield. Once I get the shield, you'll also notice that it only lasts a couple seconds. See here, I only have 3 more seconds on my shield. So once I get that shield, I run over here and I need to match this symbol. I need to be the same symbol here in order to refresh this shield. If I have a different symbol, I will not refresh this shield, and this death zone over here is going to automatically kill me. So I need to match the thing, and I wait for it to refresh. Boom, you see that the shield has refreshed and I'm able to move on to the next one. And you'll also notice that here it went from 3 seconds back to 7 seconds. So I have 7 seconds to get to the next one and switch to the same symbol. While this is happening, you'll also notice that the tank has stuck with this same symbol, which is A, and you'll notice on the top right corner over here, Biscuit is now range tanking. So when people come back into this arena, they need to make sure that they are not this symbol, they are not A, or else they'll rip the aggro away from our range tank and will probably get us all killed. So let me explain crossing over here. You'll see that I jump across, and now I'm waiting for this to refresh my shield. I've only got 2 seconds left on this shield, and I'm waiting for this to charge up. What you want to pay attention to are these red lasers over here. You want to jump over them because they do hurt quite a bit. You can run through them or you can iframe through them. Just keep in mind that they do hurt a little bit, actually quite a lot, but whenever you stand in these pads and when they refresh your shield, they also heal you to full HP. So you can keep that in mind. So see over here, boom, my shield is refreshed. I jump over that. And over here, you notice these strips over here. These strips will constantly change symbol between A, B, C. So now it's C. So the next symbol this is going to change to is going to change back to A. So you're going to see that once I run over it, even if I jump over it, I'm automatically going to switch to this symbol. And then what I need to do is I need to make sure that I switch to this symbol before I get to the pad in order to refresh my shield. So you're going to see here, instead of jumping over this, I just run through it, because if I jump over this laser, it'll switch my symbol. So I just run through the laser and I just wait for the shield to refresh. You'll notice my HP went from 85% back to 100 because it refreshed the shield. So next I need to run towards here. I'm going to jump over this because I need to make sure that this symbol's A. And while that is happening, while we're hitting the boss in the middle, everyone needs to keep in mind that when his CC bars open, we need to either stun, KD, daze, use whatever you want. But we need to have like a consensus on the raid, and ours is a stun. Because again, if you don't stun it, it's going to do a room-wide explosion, knocks everyone back, and it usually results in a wipe because people will die. So you see over there, I got my shield. I run over here, I get A again. I jump over the laser, I jump again, change to C, matched it. Okay, moving on. I jump over this. I'm going to jump over this laser. Boom, perfectly. I'm B. Get this. I'm going to run over this. I'm going to get the B symbol. I need to jump twice. And boom, you see that there was a bit of rubber banding there. So just keep in mind that when people do crossing here, it's very often that people do get rubber banded. So you just need to kind of cope with the lag and just kind of hope that you don't get rubber banded too badly. But if you do, it's not a big deal. Just remember that as I picked up the shield, the tank, the regular melee tank, is right behind me. So if I miss this shield, just move on to the next one or just die. There's no point in trying to wait for the shield to refresh again, because you're going to cause everyone else behind you to die. So if you mess up, it's just on you and you just have to die, or you just have to run to the next one and hope that you can iframe and live long enough to get the next shield. So you see here that I was lucky. Even though I did rubber band, I still managed to get it. Over here, I'm going to get this shield, and now I'm running back into the arena. Make sure when I run back into the arena that I am not the A symbol, because you see that the boss is currently the A symbol. So luckily I am on the C symbol, so when I run in, I will not rip range aggro. So just jump in and boom, and now I just continue to DPS. And then after his triple stab, his CC bar is going to open. So again, we stun and we continue to DPS. So you're going to see in this clip that we kill it before it does liberation. However, if you do get to liberation, which basically is he'll lift up the 3 furthest targets, everyone else with a symbol has to be assigned a clock position. You'll notice that there's black symbols over here on the map, and then everyone should be assigned one of these clock positions, other than the 3 furthest targets. The 3 furthest targets will be lifted and they'll be unable to do anything. However, after liberation, they will not die. Everyone else has to run into one of these pads before liberation ends, or else they will die. Since I don't have footage for that, you're just gonna have to trust me on it. And if you do get to liberation, just make sure everyone has its own clock position. Remember, only one person can run into each of these symbols, so there are 12 of these symbols around the map. Once you run into that, it will do some mech damage to the boss, which will help. Try not to die during this boss fight, because for every person who dies, it does heal the boss. So just make sure not to die. And you'll see here that we're just going to DPS, 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 and the boss is pretty much going to die before he goes into liberation. So you see here that again, he's going to use this missile, again to the furthest target. And now over here, the shield bearer sets glyphs. So he sets glyphs one more time, which means that he's going to go into liberation soon. When he does this, everyone needs to match the same symbol or else they will die. So you'll see here that he chose the A symbol. So everyone needs to switch to the A symbol. And then now he goes this, and boom, whoever isn't the A symbol will die. Luckily, everyone matched, so we're fine. And after that, he will go into liberation. So since we killed it, I am unable to show you liberation, unfortunately, but this was the only footage that I had which actually showed everyone doing all the crossings. Again, if you guys have any questions, do let me know in the comment sections below and I'll try my best to answer it. I haven't done a guide in a very long time and I really do apologize for that. Just been really busy with other stuff in life generally, but I will be trying to iron out the rest of my guides. I know I haven't even made an SK guide yet or a Hive Queen guide, so I will be working on those and trying to iron that out and at least, complete these guides. So next up is probably going to be my SK guide or the Boss 3 guide for Twilight Temple. Let me know what guide you want first in the comments below and I'll try to make that. And boom, here is the loot over here. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, I would appreciate a subscribe, or if you want to go that extra mile, please consider becoming a member. Speaking about members, I'd like to thank Toots McGee, Solar Hero, ST Sin 2, Lina Ren, Lei Shi, Ki, and Dante Sama for becoming members and supporting my channel. And as always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome, for the heals, the boosts, the res.